Hello, friends. Welcome to episode 19. I am Anna.
And I am Lucas. Today we ask the big question, why?
It is such a small word, isn't it? Just, three letters, W-H-Y. But when you really stop and look at it, when you sort of hold it up to the light, it stops being just a word.
It becomes something more.
It becomes a mechanism. It's the lever we pull to open up the entire universe. It's the key that unlocks the door to understanding everything around us.
Everything from the movement of stars in the galaxy
To the turbulent, messy feelings inside our own hearts.
Precisely. I mean, it is the fundamental question of existence. It's the engine of science, the engine of philosophy, and maybe most importantly for you listening, it's the engine of human relationships.
That's so true.
But before we get too philosophical and get lost in the cosmos, we should probably ground this a little.
Bring it back down to earth.
Exactly. Plant our feet. So today, our deep dive is going to be a little different. We're slowing things down. We want to create a peaceful, sort of inquisitive atmosphere.
And in that atmosphere, we're going to explore what?
The spectrum of human emotion, the architecture of our personalities, and the bridge that connects them all.
The logic of because.
The logic of because.
I really love that image, a bridge.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what it is. When I look at the research we've got in front of us today, papers on psychology, linguistics, even storytelling, the common thread, the thing that ties them all together, is connection. We're connecting how we feel with the reasons behind those feelings. We're taking a journey into the why.
And to do that, we have to start with the raw materials.
The feelings themselves.
The emotional palette, if you will.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Well, just think about it. A painter has red, blue, and yellow, right? These distinct primary colors.
Okay.
We humans have a set of core emotional states. They are the pigments of our daily experience. And sometimes in the rush of life, the commute, the emails, the noise, we forget to really identify them. We just exist.
We're just in a blur.
Exactly, a blur. But the mission of this deep dive is to pause. To stop the clock for just a moment. Let's look at them. Let's analyze that spectrum.
Okay, let's do that. So we have the bright colors, the high energy states. We have happy. We have excited.
The ones we chase.
Right. These are the summer days of the soul.
Indeed. But a painting can't be only bright yellow. We also have the darker, heavier shades. Sad, angry, scared.
Those are the ones we usually try to run away from, but they're just as real and just as important, aren't they?
Absolutely. And then you've got those gray in-between spaces, the fog.
Like bored, tired, or nervous.
I want to stop you right there on nervous. Let's pick that one up and really look at it, because in our notes, nervous is described as this sort of transitional state. It's fascinating.
How so?
Well, it's not quite fear. Fear is usually a reaction to an immediate threat, a tiger in the room or a car rushing toward you. But nervous isn't calm either. It's a vibration. It's anticipation.
Oh, I know that vibration well. It's a frequency that just hums in your chest right behind your ribs. When I see the word nervous, my mind goes to one place immediately.
Let me guess. An exam.
The exam, yes. It's a universal human experience, isn't it? It doesn't matter if you're 15 taking a math test or 40 giving a huge presentation. The feeling is identical.
It transcends age.
It really does.
Puts you right back in that plastic chair.
Picture it. You're sitting at a desk. The room is silent except for a clock on the wall. Ticking. Ticking. And it sounds so much louder than it should. You've got a pen in your hand. And suddenly you realize something about your body. You're not telling it to do anything, but it's reacting on its own.
Mia hands it. They're not dry anymore. They're damp.
Exactly. Sweaty hands. It feels like a physical betrayal, right?
It absolutely feels like a betrayal.
Yeah.
You want to be cool, calm, collected. You want to be the person who has it all together.
But your palms are slippery. You can barely hold the pen.
So let's ask the question, why? Why does that happen? Well, your brain is worried about the future, about the questions on the paper. It perceives a threat to your status, your success. So it triggers the sympathetic nervous system.
The fight or flight response?
Just dial down a little. Your body is basically trying to cool itself down in preparation for action. That's what nervous is. It's the anticipation of a challenge.
So, in a way, the sweat is my body trying to help me.
It is. It's your body saying, I am ready, I am activated.
That's a much nicer way to think about it. And it shows that you care, doesn't it? If you didn't care about the exam, you wouldn't have sweaty hands. You'd just be indifferent, dry.
That is a very kind and, I think, very accurate way to look at it. Indifference is dry hands. Care is sweaty hands. It completely reframes the feeling.
Yeah.
But now let's look at the opposite of that high energy tension. Let's look at a state that modern society seems to absolutely hate. Let's look at bored.
Boredom. Ugh. The feeling that time has just stopped, or that the clock is moving backward.
We treat it like a disease these days. We have our phones to cure it instantly, don't we? As soon as there's a gap in anything, out comes the screen.
Right.
But the research here suggests boredom is a distinct emotional flavor that we actually need to taste.
And in our source material, there's that classic example, waiting for the bus.
We've all been there. The scheduled time has passed. The road is just empty.
You look down the street, nothing. You check your watch, and only 1 minute has passed, but it feels like 10.
So you look down the street again.
Still nothing. It's painful. It's like a physical ache of waiting.
It's an emptiness. You want to be somewhere else, right? On the bus, at home, wherever. But you're stuck here. It's a conflict between where you are and where you want to be.
And you're powerless to change it in that moment, so your brain just spins its wheels.
There's an English idiom in our notes that just captures the absolute peak of this feeling perfectly. Watching paint dry.
I've always found that phrase so funny. I mean, can you imagine actually doing it? You paint a wall, and then you just sit there and stare at the wet liquid until it becomes a solid.
It is the definition of a non-event. Nothing is happening. If you are watching paint dry, you are experiencing the purest form of boredom.
It sounds awful.
But here's a question for you. Is boredom useful?
That's interesting, I suppose. If I'm really, truly bored, my mind starts to wander. I start daydreaming. I start inventing things just to entertain myself.
Exactly. Some psychologists argue that boredom is the birthplace of creativity. When the external world provides zero stimulation, like the wet paint, the internal world has to wake up to entertain you.
So maybe we should all watch more paint dry.
Maybe we should.
I'll try to remember that next time I'm waiting for the bus. I'm not bored. I'm incubating creativity.
There you go.
But let's flip the switch again. Let's go from that low energy to high energy. Let's talk about excited. It's one of my favorites. That bubbling feeling in your chest. It's almost like nervousness, but positive. And the example here is perfect. The holiday.
The holiday, the escape. But specifically, the notes point to the night before the holiday.
Oh, that is a unique kind of torture. You've packed your bags, they're sitting by the door, your passport is on the table, you know you need to be up at 4 in the morning to catch that flight. You lie down in bed, close your eyes.
Nothing.
Nothing. I can't sleep.
Exactly. You're too full of tomorrow to sleep tonight.
It's a physiological reaction, isn't it? Your brain is just flooding with dopamine and adrenaline. It's already at the beach. It's already swimming in the ocean.
It refuses to shut down. That's excitement. It's a beautiful problem to have, really.
It really is. It's the body vibrating with potential joy.
Yeah.
So we have these temporary states, right? Nervous, bored, excited. They come and go like the weather. I can be bored at 2 p.m. and excited at 5 p.m. But then there are the things that stick around a bit longer, the way we're built.
The architecture of personality. This is the second pillar of our deep dive today. If emotions are the weather-changeable, fleeting, unpredictable.
Then personality is the climate.
Exactly. It's who you are most of the time. It's the average temperature of your soul.
I like that distinction. Climate versus weather. And we have some great descriptive words in our stack for these climates. Shy, funny, kind, rude, serious, lazy, smart.
These are the labels we use to navigate our social world. They're heuristics, really, shortcuts to help us predict how people are going to act.
Okay, so let's take one. The spectrum of shy versus outgoing.
Right. This isn't just about how much you talk. It's about how you relate to the world and, crucially, where you get your energy from.
I want to ask you, listening right now, to reflect on this. When you walk into a room full of new people and strangers you don't know, what is your very first instinct?
Right. Do you feel a surge of energy? Do you want to go shake every hand and hear every story? Does the noise of the crowd kind of feed you?
Or do you look for the corner? Do you look for the exit? Do you just want to hide?
If you want to hide, that's shy. Or, to use the more psychological term, introverted.
And I think it's important to say there's nothing wrong with that at all. It can be a protective instinct.
Absolutely not. The shy person is often observing, they're processing. But if you're out there mixing it up, you're outgoing, extroverted, you're seeking stimulation. Neither is better. They're just different operating systems.
Okay, what about funny? Humor is so subjective. What I find funny, you might find annoying.
It is, but our source material points to a universal archetype of funny, Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean, a classic. Why him? Is it just because he's famous?
I don't think so. I think it connects back to what we were just saying about language. Mr. Bean rarely speaks. He's funny because of his face, his movements, his absurdity.
He transcends language. That's a good point. You don't need to speak English to understand Mr. Bean getting a turkey stuck on his head.
Exactly. He taps into something physical, something primal. He is the funniest person many people know, and he says almost nothing. It proves that personality isn't just about what you say.
That's how you inhabit space.
That's it.
That's genius. But my favorite trait on this list isn't funny. It's kind.
Kind. It's such a soft word, but it requires a lot of strength, doesn't it?
It does. How do our notes define it?
It's defined by action. It isn't just a feeling you have in your head. You can't just feel kind. The definition is simple. Always help people. It's about doing, not just being.
And there's a specific example given, a microaction.
Opening the door for someone.
Yes. It is such a small gesture, but think about it. You're walking into a building, you see someone behind you, maybe they're carrying heavy bags. You pause, you hold the door, you let them pass.
That is kindness. It creates a connection. It acknowledges the other person's existence.
It says, I see you, and I'm putting your convenience above my own for 5 seconds.
And that, I think, brings us perfectly to the most critical part of our episode today. We've talked about feelings, the internal weather. We've talked about personality, the internal climate.
But now we have to talk about the logic that binds them together. We need to talk about the grammar of reason.
The mechanics of why and because.
This seems so simple on the surface, right? We learned these words as children. But when you strip it all down, this is the glue of reality.
This is the bridge. We observe something, a feeling or an action, and we want to understand its source, so we have a structure. It's like a lock and key mechanism.
The lock is the question. Why plus verb plus subject.
And the key is the answer. Because plus reason. You can't have one without the other. They are a pair. The human brain craves causality. We hate things that just happen. We need to know why.
And to really feel the weight of this connection, we're going to do something a little different today. We're going to practice.
We are. We have 4 situations here. We're going to go through them, and we are going to repeat the because part 3 times for each one.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. 3 times. That sounds repetitive.
But there is a method to it. Repetition builds the neural pathway. We want the structure to become automatic. We want you to feel the rhythm of cause and effect. We want it to settle into your bones.
Okay. Let's start with situation 1. I'll ask the question.
And I'll provide the answer.
Okay, situation 1. I look at you and you're just beaming, smiling from ear to ear. So I ask, why are you happy?
Because it is my birthday.
Let's say that again. Feel the reason.
Because it is my birthday.
And one more time.
Because it is my birthday.
Simple. Perfect.
Okay.
The cause is the birthday. The effect is the happiness. Now, situation 2. We see a man running down the street. He's checking his watch. He looks panicked. We ask, why is he running?
Because he is late.
Again.
Because he is late.
And once more.
Because he is late.
We've all been that man. The reason drives the action. Now for situation 3. A bit lower energy. Someone is nodding off in a chair. Their eyes are closing.
Yeah.
We ask, why are you sleeping?
Because I am tired.
Again.
Because I am tired.
And a third time.
Because I am tired.
It's pure biological logic. Lack of energy leads to sleep. And finally, situation 4. A universal truth. Someone is eating a slice of pizza, enjoying it immensely. We ask, why do you like pizza?
Because it is delicious.
Again.
Because it is delicious.
And one last time, for all the pizza lovers.
Because it is delicious.
There is no other reason needed. It just is.
Thank you for doing that with us. I know repetition can feel a little strange, but it really does build those neural pathways. It cements the link between why and because.
It turns a chaotic world into a logical one.
It does.
And now that we've built that bridge, we can cross it to visit a neighbor. It's time for our narrative analysis.
It is time for story time. Ah, yes. The story of the grumpy neighbor.
This isn't just a story, is it? It's a case study. We have a character, Mr. Grump. I mean, the name tells you everything you need to know.
It does, but we need to investigate why he's Mr. Grump. We have to be detectives. So I'm going to read this short story, and I want you listening to pay close attention to the emotional shift. We start with anger, and we end with understanding.
I'm ready. Introduce us to Mr. Grump.
Mr. Grump lived in a big house. He was always angry. He shouted at the children, "Get off my grass!"
Oh, dear.
He shouted at the postman, "You are late!"
He sounds like a real joy.
He was a terror. Everyone in the neighborhood avoided him, and everyone asked the big question, why is he so angry? One day, a little girl named Lucy knocked on his door. Mr. Grump opened it. "What do you want?" he shouted.
Of course you did.
But Lucy just said, "I made you a cake. You look lonely."
You look lonely. Wow, that's a powerful observation for a child. She didn't say you look angry.
No, she didn't. She looked right past the symptom to the cause. And Mr. Grump, he looked at the cake. He looked at Lucy. And he started to cry.
Oh.
"Why are you crying?" asked Lucy. "Because nobody visits me," said Mr. Grump. He ate the cake. He smiled. He was not grumpy anymore.
That's a beautiful little story.
It's the classic why and because in action, isn't it? Let's break it down.
Okay, so story beat 1 is the anger. We see the behavior. Shouting at children, shouting at the postman. He's defending his territory. Get off my grass.
Think about that behavior. He's pushing the world away. He's in a big house, probably alone. The community sees the effect, the anger, but they don't know the cause.
So they just ask, why is he like this? They probably just assume he's a bad person.
Exactly. We so often attribute bad behavior to bad character. We think he shouts because he is a mean person.
Right. And then comes story beat 2, the intervention. Lucy. She is so brave, knocking on the door of the scariest man on the street.
And his immediate reaction is hostility. What do you want? He expects an attack. He expects trouble. He's got his armor on.
But Lucy doesn't bring trouble. She brings a cake, a peace offering. And more importantly, she brings the diagnosis. You look lonely.
She identifies the root cause before he even admits it himself. Children are often very good at this. They don't have all the social filters adults have. They just say what they see.
And that leads right to story beat 3, the transformation. The armor cracks. He cries. Why? Because the loneliness, the real problem, has been acknowledged. It's been named.
And when Lucy asks him, "Why are you crying?" he finally says the truth out loud. "Because nobody visits me."
That's the aha moment. The anger was just a mask for the loneliness. The because explains everything. And once the loneliness is treated, by the cake, by the visit.
The grumpiness vanishes. It shows that sometimes the answer to why is that person being so rude is actually because they are hurting.
Precisely. It brings us back to empathy. Understanding the reasons changes how we see the person. If we know the why, we can start to forgive the behavior.
Now, in that story, Lucy saw that Mr. Grump looked lonely. She read his face. And that leads us perfectly to our next section. We communicate so much without ever using any words at all.
Body language and physical cues. The silent language of
is nonverbal. We have a list of keywords here: smile, frown, cry, laugh. But there are 2 specific physical cues I really want to dive into.
Okay.
One involves being tired, and one involves being embarrassed.
Let's start with the tired one. The yawn.
The yawn. It's such a strange biological function, isn't it? You open your mouth wide, you take in this deep breath, you stretch your jaw. Even animals do it.
My dog yawns all the time.
Right, dogs yawn, lions yawn. But why do we do it? Is it just to get more oxygen?
I thought that was the reason.
That's the old theory. Newer research suggests it might actually be to cool down the brain. But the most fascinating thing about yawning, for us, is that it's contagious.
Contagious? You mean like catching a cold?
In a way. But it's visual contagion. If I see you yawn, my mirror neurons fire up. My brain sends a signal that says, hey, we should probably yawn too. It is almost impossible to resist.
I don't know if I believe it's that powerful. I think I have pretty strong willpower.
Oh, really? Well, should we try a little experiment?
An experiment, here, now.
Yes. I'm going to yawn, and let's see what happens to you and to everyone listening.
Okay, go ahead. I'm ready. I'm resisting.
Okay, here we go.
Ah!
No, I'm fine. I don't.
Are you sure about that?
I don't. Oh, there it is. Okay. You got me.
See? It's irresistible. You yawned almost immediately. I did. As soon as I heard that sound, my jaw just wanted to open.
That's incredible. So a yawn says, because I'm tired, without speaking, and it makes everyone else realize they're tired too.
Exactly. It synchronizes the group. Now, the other cue is blushing.
Blushing. This is when your face turns red, usually on your cheeks.
And why do we do it? Because we're embarrassed. It usually happens right after we make a mistake.
Like if I drop my coffee all over the table in a quiet cafe, everyone looks at me, my face would turn bright red.
Charles Darwin actually called blushing the most peculiar and most human of all expressions. He noted that while other animals might yawn or bare their teeth, only humans blush.
Why is that? Why is it just us?
It's believed to be the body's way of apologizing. It signals to everyone else, I know I messed up and I care about the social rules. It's a very honest signal.
That's true. You can't fake a blush. You can fake a smile, but you can't fake a blush.
You really can't. It's pure honesty. It's your blood vessels dilating to say, I'm sorry. So we've covered the feelings, the personality, the grammar, the story, and the body language. We've explored why and because from so many angles.
We have.
But we aren't done yet. We have one final challenge. The source material calls this the endless why game.
Ah, yes. The interactive finale?
The concept is simple. We're going to role play. I'm going to make a simple factual statement.
And I'm going to take on the persona of a very curious and perhaps slightly annoying 3-year-old child. My only job is to ask why.
And my job is to answer you.
Yeah.
But here's the catch. You're going to keep asking why. After every single answer I give, we're building a chain of logic until I completely run out of answers.
This is a test of your patience and a test of our logic. It simulates the way children learn. They just drill down to the bedrock of reality.
Yeah.
Are you ready to enter the mind of a toddler?
I think I am. Let's play the endless why.
All right, go ahead. Start us off.
Okay. Here is my statement. I am going to the shop
Why?
because I need milk.
Why?
Because I want to drink coffee.
Why?
Because coffee gives me energy. Because humans need energy to move.
Why?
Because if we don't have energy, our bodies stop working.
Wow.
Because our cells need fuel. They need glucose and things like that to function.
Why?
Because.
Why?
That's just biology. That's how life works.
Mm-hmm.
Living things have to consume energy to fight against, disorder.
Why?
Because of entropy. The whole universe wants to be chaotic, and we have to eat things to stay organized and alive.
Why?
Because of the Big Bang. Because the laws of physics are the way they are.
All right.
I don't know why the laws of physics are the way they are.
Right.
Okay, stop. Stop. I surrender. You've defeated me. We have reached the absolute bottom of my knowledge.
We went from buying milk to the creation of the universe in about 8 steps.
And that is the beauty of the game. You start
Yeah.
with something as mundane as milk, and within a minute, you're shouting about entropy.
It's exhausting, but it really does show that everything is connected. The milk is connected to the coffee, which is connected to energy, which is connected to life itself.
It exposes the deep roots of our reality. Children do this naturally because they are building their map of the world. They need the because for everything.
They're not just being annoying. They are constructing their understanding of the entire universe, one why at a time.
And as adults, we just stop asking. We just buy the milk and we forget about the biology and the physics behind it. We accept things as they are.
Which is why this deep dive is so important. We're reminding ourselves to ask, to be curious again.
So after all of this, what does it all mean for you, our listener?
Well, I think we've learned that emotions like nervousness and excitement have real physical symptoms. Sweaty hands, sleepless nights. They're not just in our heads, they are in our bodies.
And we've learned that personality traits like shyness or kindness define how we interact with the world. And that kindness is an action, like holding a door, not just a feeling.
We mastered the grammar of why and because, locking in that cause and effect structure. We saw how loneliness can disguise itself as anger in the story of Mr. Grump, which teaches us to look a little deeper.
And we experienced the contagious power of a yawn. I'm still trying not to yawn again. And the relentless, brilliant logic of a child asking why.
I think the big takeaway here is awareness. Notice your feelings. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this? And then really listen for the because.
If you're angry, ask why. Is it really anger? Or are you just tired? Or maybe lonely, like Mr. Grump? And if you're happy, ask why. Acknowledge the source of your joy.
And don't be afraid to be a little bit like that annoying 3-year-old. Look at the world around you and just ask why a little more often.
Why is the sky blue? Why do birds sing? Why do we yawn? The answers are always there, just waiting for you to find them.
Thank you for joining us on this peaceful journey into reasons and feelings.
It has been a pleasure exploring the why with you all.
Until next time, friends, keep asking questions.
And goodbye.